right, so welcome back to the channel. My name's Kevin.
I'm Tarsha.
This is Conversations with the Crawleys, who do conversations about faith, family, relationships, and we do recaps, reviews, and commentaries on some of our favorite shows. This one is all about Decision Day Part 2, Shaq's decision of Married at First Sight in Nashville. So if this is content that you enjoy, you already know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like, request notifications,
and share.
We'll see you in the comments. Consider becoming a member, and say it with me, check out the merch store.
Check out the merch store.
All right, so we're down to the last 32 episodes because they said for the first time ever, we're going to see the lives after Decision Day.
Because they're trying to keep the show alive, right? We're what, 14 seasons in? 13 seasons?
Yeah, I think this is season 14.
Yeah, so you got to find ways to capture people who are looking at the show.
True. So we left off, if you remember, we left off with a cliffhanger. Shaq wore, and I want to make it clear, I was not calling Shaq a clown. I was saying that his suit had clown, it had clown aura around it, if you will. Somebody, I think in our comments, called it the Joker suit because it looked like something out of Batman and the Joker. But he was left, well, we left with the decision because Kristen said she wants to continue on. Mm-hmm. She's like, I want to try. Let's see what we can do. She's good with it. Shaq? No, he ain't going to do it. He said it's over, it's done. He doesn't want to continue on. He says that she never was there to support him. He said that she, what else? That she never let down her walls. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts?
As I take a deep sigh, I'm like, what? Okay. I don't know. It's hard to even know where to start with it, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's like, I hear you. And my first thought is, what did we didn't see?
Right.
Because we know camera can't run 24 hours. They can't capture everything. Something has to be left on the director's floor.
Right.
So what did we miss significant enough for you to say? Also, he was saying he didn't feel like he could be the man for her. So my first thought is like, okay, what did we miss that something significant happened between them that she wasn't supportive?
Right.
My second thing was, did he feel overwhelmed? You're going through your doctorate in the middle of getting married, which I wouldn't recommend that to anyone.
Anybody.
Okay. But hey, and you're trying to navigate a new position. Mm-hmm. You get offered a new job. So that means you apply for something, right?
Yep.
And you turn it down. So you got all this stuff coming on. You having late nights and you're coming in moody because it was on film. This is the receipts. Mm-hmm. She said this, hey, I am trying to connect with you, saying that I'm here for you, and you come in like a zombie.
Yeah.
She asked, can I fix you something? Because look, you know where I would have been, right? We've been married over 27 years. Where would I have been, Kat?
You'd have been in bed.
Sleep, right?
Sleep.
I would have put maybe something in the microwave.
You might have something in the microwave.
If you text me and say, hey, I do want to eat, because sometimes you might have just grabbed something.
Right.
But my butt would have been asleep. There wouldn't have been no support talking about, can I grab you, put something in a plate for you? Mm-mm. I'd be like, you'll be good.
I'd have been at Filiberto's, Julio Berto's. If you're from Phoenix, you know the Phoenix area, I'd have been one of the Mexican food spots, picking up a burrito and coming on home.
Right. And then you normally would text me saying, hey, I am coming home. We did late. I'd be like, all right, see you in the morning.
Yep.
So for her to stay up, laid on the couch with the blanket on.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, let me fix you something in the kitchen.
That is newlywed behavior.
That's newlywed behavior.
Now, when we were first married,
I was stay up late. Yep. I would stay up late and wait for you. Yep. So, bro.
Listen,
bro. And right with the couple of incidents, if we're talking about the trip where he was going out of town, we know there was a communication issue,
which again is expected in the first 8 weeks of your marriage.
And they were what, 6 weeks in? And by this time they're about 5.5 in.
Yeah, the first one I think was maybe about 4 or 5 weeks in.
Right.
It was about midway.
Right. Because she had to give over her issue of wanting someone specific and all these hurdles of meeting and marrying a stranger.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you tell me, yeah, I can't do this. She's playing around about you buying her a $500,000 house and all this, right? You just all in your head.
Definitely.
And and then, like she said, you got the nerve to be crying. You the one that went out. So you crying about getting out? She's like, I should be crying.
Listen.
And she seemed very reserved, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's not going to be overly nurturing or emotional.
Right.
Right? Okay.
And again, I think one of the things I think we've said about Kirsten that I think even is seen in how she responded is that Kirsten, in my opinion, struggles with trying to come off perfect as well. So I think if I could say that that's an issue that she has, because everybody has an issue, everybody has a idiosyncrasy or whatever you want to call it, that, you know, they've got to work through.
Polish.
Right. So I think for her, it is this idea of perfection that she has in her head that is what caused her to keep her walls up for a period of time. And so when she basically got rejected, I think part of it was her perfect response and her perfect scenario didn't come to pass. So she's trying to still not come off the way that I think she really wanted to.
Oh, we see it a little bit later. We can talk about
she
it.
Does.
We can talk about it later.
She does do a little, but I mean the way she probably really wanted to in that moment. Let's just say. Yeah, because he says that nothing is ever good enough for her. And she's like, okay, I wish you the best.
Yep. And she says off camera, she's like, he crying? Why is he crying?
And then she says, so good luck. Because you ain't gonna find nothing else right now the way you acting. Tennessee.
That's a small pool.
Take me to another place. Take me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Arrested Development. Come on. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know.
Nothing. Nothing.
Mm-hmm. All right. So anyway, then at the apartment, because of course they're trying to pack up everything.
Well, you gotta mention that Dr. Pepper, Pastor Cal was like,
yeah.
We're dumb. Okay. So that's how we're gonna show up, Dr. Shack, because this is how you gonna show up today. Like, really? And surprisingly, like previous seasons, they try to really talk them through it. This time they were like, you know what? You just about to miss out.
And
that's your decision.
And then he makes a statement. I think he makes it then.
He makes it then there about coming back around, circling back around.
He's like, she'll find her Prince Charming. You know, who knows? It might be me.
No, bro.
Yeah.
You missed it. Like running after the bus and then it keep going even after it sees you were there. You missed your stop.
Kirsten's not perfect. Shaq's not perfect.
No.
But in my opinion, Shaq fumbled the bag right here.
I guess we can talk about it a little bit more as we get into it.
Yeah. So they do go, or, you know, of course, as part of this, we'll just kind of stay talking about Shaq and.
Oh, you want to go ahead and just take this?
We'll just again break it up like
we can break it up because then we get to the part right where she's meeting with Nicole.
Well, no, before that,
she
packs up. Oh, he packs up.
Oh, he packs up because she's not packing up. She's already gone.
She like, oh,
it's need.
Over. Listen, don't take me back to the hotel or nothing. I'm going right back to the apartment.
I'm leaving right now from the barn.
Cousin Junebug, meet me at my apartment, at my fake apartment right now. Auntie Natalie, meet me over there. We gonna pack up my stuff right now.
She got her stuff. We don't need to meet. I don't need to see you. I'm hurt. So she dropped her stuff off. She get the bird. She double burden. So this is Kristen, right?
Yeah.
Because she's hurt, right? I think sometimes for some people it does take a little bit to process what's going on and how they want to react. Because nobody want to overreact. But she like throwing up the bird. She be like, boop, boop, you're lost.
Yeah.
You gonna be like that?
And you know it was the after hours camera because it was the black and white film. It was like
because she left before the camera people got there, right? She's like, I'm not gonna be a part of a show like this. I'm hurt.
Yeah.
Because even though we have to realize, even though it took her a while, her walls were down. She was being more vulnerable.
She was becoming more vulnerable.
Because I was trusting you that we're going to stick through this. We're just getting to know you, because she realized that when he didn't realize it was only 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And so other than that, you've been vulnerable intimate wise. You're trying to figure everything out. And guess what? No one figures out marriage in the first 8 weeks of it. Shoot, 27 years, I still ain't figured it out. We just doing the best we can. We're showing up every day and doing the best we can.
Yep.
It's alive. It's living.
There's
it
been
grows.
a lot of 8-week processes in our marriage.
There's been a lot.
There's been a lot of 8 weeks. Do you? I guess. Yeah, we're gonna continue on another 8 weeks.
Continue another.
It's been a lot of 8-week decisions in 27 years. Let's just be honest.
It's a living organism. A marriage is a living organism. Oh my God.
Every day, and you'll hear us say it all the time, every day is decision day in a relationship. Every day you got to make a decision.
You got to make a decision to show up.
So she does start moving stuff back into her apartment. I still think it's a fake apartment.
It's her apartment. You need to stop playing with the girl. It's her apartment. She's putting her stuff in there.
That's the stuff she moved in for the first time ever. That's the first time that stuff has been in there.
And, you know, she has her wedding book and stuff. She might burn that later. But for now, at least she put it, you know, she puts it in the closet. And her friends asking her, you know, I'm assuming you've grown, you've learned from this experience, learning about being, you know, vulnerable. And, you know, she talking about her being nurturing. Because a lot of times all women ain't like overly nurturing or overly emotional. And, you know, so she's like, yeah, you know, I've grown.
Yes.
And her friend's like, so when are we thinking about getting out there? She's like, I ain't trying to.
She's like, I'm focusing on myself.
I do need to focus on myself.
Now she does go through this thing of like, maybe I just need a partner. Who want to partner with me? She putting on her Facebook, I need a partner.
I don't blame her, right?
But then she's like, you know what? She really wants to be married and have a husband. So yeah.
Right. Because you want to have kids, you know, whatever. You know, they share their faith. So she's a believer in Christ, right? And so she wants to get married and have kids. And that's how she wants to show up as a married couple and have children. And like she said, you know, you don't want to wake up and that there's no one there, right? And you eat alone and different things like that. I think I hear what she's saying and I get that. But I think also making sure she's finding joy in being single.
Yes. I
think a lot of times single people are harping on the fact that they are alone when they go eat and different things. But I think enjoying their singleness and really truly emerging in like, I'm enjoying being single. I can do what I want to do when I want to do it. And I get an opportunity to spend time with myself. Obviously, having friends, creating a community and everything is good.
Yeah, I think, you know, and many of y'all know we pastor church as well. So I think one of the things that we too often do in church is we sometimes make marriage the ultimate goal and don't deal with who you are as an individual before you come into a marriage. The thing I think of and we talk about is, you know, it takes a whole person marrying a whole person to have a whole marriage. And so, yes, while you are single, enjoy your singlehood. Even Paul was like, look, the Apostle Paul was like, look, if it was up to me, I'd stay single. But if you, it's better to marry than to burn. So it's better to, to be with somebody. And we were designed for companionship. We were designed for relationship. But enjoy who you are. In that season. In that season.
And if you're called to be single, be single.
And walk strong in it.
And I don't think married people should condemn or look at a single person with having two heads. I don't even ask people, and I had to learn this probably in my 30s or so. I don't ask them like, oh, so when you plan to get married? Blah, blah, blah. First of all, it takes two people to plan to get married.
Yep.
And so
yes, it does.
I don't focus on when they're going to find their mate, when they're going to do something. I just appreciate them for being single.
Yep.
And I think us married people have to do a better job of supporting our single folks, making sure they're enjoying being single and not harping and reminding them all the time that they're not married or condemning them, but just be supportive.
Yes, absolutely. Shaq goes kickboxing.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he want to get his butt beat every now and then. Okay. But then not Michelle, but Kirsten goes talking with Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They go shopping.
And Nicole is like, so would you be open to reaching out to him? She's like, I wouldn't necessarily reach out to him, but she's like, she's open to him reaching out to her. And I get her standpoint from the aspect. She's like, look, he broke up with me. So it'd be kind of difficult or awkward for her to be like, hey, you broke up with me, but I want to check on you.
Right.
So I get that.
Right.
But Nicole brings up the other perspective as well.
Which makes sense. You know, he's not sure how she will respond, how Kristen will respond if he did reach out to her. You know, like, how do you say, how you doing? Like, what do you mean how I'm doing? You broke my heart. Like, you want a divorce. What do you mean how I'm doing? Yeah. You know? And so I get that perspective as well, right? You don't know how to start that conversation. And I could imagine, right? Because we've never been divorced. So, but I understand having hard conversations, right? If you've hurt the person you love the most, how do you start a conversation of saying, I felt the way I felt and I apologize how it affected you.
Yes.
But it doesn't negate how I felt at the moment.
Right. And
so those can be hard conversations when you're saying that you no longer want to be married with the person. So now you're not even in the same space. So it's not like I can run into you or you in the kitchen or something and be like, hey, you know, I know this is a little awkward. But
you got to go on the east side of Nashville from the west side. So
to talk to you. So I get both perspectives, you know, and Nicole was kind of hinting about, well, maybe you need the closure and really understanding where he was coming from, you know?
Yeah.
Granted, I hear that as well, because when you're sitting there and you're just looking, you're like, okay, we're making a decision.
Yeah, because even the goal, yes, of course, in that moment, as far as decision day, is that you're explaining why you're making the decision that you're making. But there's a different dynamic when the cameras are there. You've got Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal sitting there also hanging on every word, right? And then we don't know if there are breaks or cut, you know, hey, cut, all right, let's refilm this or what have you. So they at least do, I believe, need to have that conversation, just the two of them, go out to dinner, what have you, meet for coffee, whatever it may be, and have that. And I think any couple really that does care about each other, and the breakup was, you know, it
not
was
mutual.
Right. It was not mutual. Right. You can still have that conversation. So,
yeah. So, and she was like, yeah, you know, and so she said, I just need time to process everything.
Yeah. And then he does talk with his friends, and his friends are like, you did what? Why? Yeah. They were like, we broke up before we got married too. So that I think is what is giving Shaq this hope of, well, maybe we can rectify this. Bro, you missed the important part. They did this before they got married.
And they said that specifically to you before, right? But I'm thinking, let's look at it this way. It takes 30, 60 days before a court would even allow you to get divorced because they want to see if by chance you change your mind.
Rectify, yes.
So is he saying that maybe he overthink, like he was so focused on the 8 weeks and he had to make this solid decision
that was going to be locking him in for the rest of his life, which again, if every day is decision day, 8 weeks and 3 days, he could have made a different decision.
Correct.
In theory, yes.
Correct. So I think with that, maybe that's what he's doing. Like, let me give her some time. Let me give myself some time. Because he was also stating like, well, we just needed some time apart and then to look at things because he
wasn't the only person that's tried to do that, was he? I think there was another couple before.
There was another couple before
where they were like, let's break up now, but I want to continue on and see if we can build something.
No, that doesn't work because what you're trying to say is I need a mental break.
Yes.
I'm overwhelmed and rightfully so. You got cameras and everything. So Kristen was like, let's wait till the cameras are gone. Let's see how it is afterwards, because it's only 8 weeks. I'm starting to get your language. I'm starting to understand how you think, how family's important to you. And then you're learning that everybody doesn't have the same family as you. They don't respond the way you do. And so all those little things that adds up for you will have more time to see that.
So anyway, he says he wants to be friends with her.
She's like,
we'll see. So when they do all go to have the kind of like, I want to call it the autopsy of the show with all the other couples. You know, of course, you know, they're going around sharing kind of what happened on their decision days. And he was like, he's open to it. She was like, nope, chapter's closed. The book's done. We done burned that the library. It's over. It's a wrap.
She's like, I don't spin the block. You said no? Good. Because why? You want to, when you're in that roller coaster of emotions, and then what if I do get back with you? And then all of a sudden you're like, nah, again.
Because Shaq is moody.
I'm like,
Shaq moody.
You have to be able to make a solid decision and stick with it in the marriage.
Yep.
When you choose or not choose your partner.
So, all right, I think that's enough for them.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, because he said he doesn't want her to hate him and all that stuff. So he's trying. Now on the after party, he again brings up that he, you know, maybe in their future something could happen between them.
Just stop it. Stop saying that.
Yeah.
Just, you know, you're not appeasing us as the audience, because we felt like you were a good match. You guys were a good match. Out of all the matches, out of Nicole and Chris, they would be the second good, best possible match. Because there's no 100%.
No, not at all.
None.
Oh God, no.
So they were very high up there. Yeah. But again, everyone has to make the commitment.
And they have to
work through it.
And they have to not only come in with intentionality, but they also have to be give grace for the shortcomings of the other person. Because in 8 weeks, you're not going to discover all of their perfect portions or all of their faults or anything like that. The goal is there enough of a connection that you can continue on to see if you want to stay, you know, to try and stay together and build something. For them, they had of all the couples, Dominic and McKinley, disaster from day 3. Jasmine and Eris, disaster on paper. Gina and Clint, disaster after about, 6 or 7 days with the whole ginger and athletic build type of thing, right? So they had a hole to dig themselves out of that they never did dig themselves out of. Even Kirsten and Shaq had a hole, but they began to dig themselves out of it, and they were making progress, but it wasn't enough in Shaq's head. And now, in the after party, he does say, he's like, I'm looking back, I'm like, man, I missed that. Man, I didn't see that. Man, I see how I was acting. Yeah, bruh.
Because a lot of time we can't see the mirror, how we were acting, right? Now, granted, because she started to kind of paint a picture for him, but it was just, again, it wasn't soon enough. She didn't communicate quick enough,
right,
for him to even realize how moody he was.
Exactly. So, all right. So Nicole and Chris, they wake up together.
She was like, "You are not sleeping without me. I'm just gonna come over your house.
Like, I'm just move in.
Fine.
I don't trust you.
Do that. They could have sublet one of the places.
Yep.
And just let the dog stay with his dad for a little bit longer.
So it looks like they are moving apartments because they signed a new lease agreement.
Which is good.
So that, her main concern is resolved. She can stop fretting. And then the question came up about accounts. And he was like, pump your brakes. We're going to go ahead and operate out of separate accounts for right now until we build this trust thing up.
Because again, it's still only now we're going on 9 weeks.
Right.
We've been married 9 weeks.
And I don't know your financial habits enough.
Right.
In a dating process, you get an idea of their financial habits, right? And even as you're getting married, yes, you are putting money together, what have you. So I get it.
Smart.
Yep.
And she's not pressuring him as far as we know. She said, well, he'll get tired sooner or later and I'll send him the money.
Yeah, but then in the trailer next week, when he see her sitting in the gold chair for $1,900, you're like, you know what? You ain't even getting my passwords. Bank statements are going to a P.O. box that you know nothing about. So that was pretty. Oh, and then of course she at the autopsy of the dates. I'm gonna keep calling it an autopsy because it is. They're kind of just digging in, finding out what wrong. But at the autopsy meal, when they're all trying to figure out what happened and everything, she is the catalyst for the Gina and what's his name, McKinley. So we'll talk about when we talk about them. But that was pretty much it for Nicole and Chris.
Yeah,
they're kind of boring to me. All right.
No, they're boring.
Well, they've always been kind of boring. It's just her neurosis has been irritating for me. So, all right, Jasmine and Eris. So they packing up the apartment, and they're both like, it feels like they're starting over. It's a new chapter. And I forgot one of them was like, no, it's a new book. It's over. It's done.
No, because he was trying to say, well, we're not really starting over. And she's like, yeah, we are. We're closing this chapter and we're opening a new chapter, because we've learned some things, we've grown, so we have to enter a new chapter.
Yep.
And he was like, oh, okay.
I guess so.
And then like they were leaving, he's like, I want to come over and see the dog. I forgot their dog's name. Duchess. And she's like, oh, you want to come and pick her up? He's like, oh, no. I ain't talking about come pick her up.
I just want to come pet her every now and then.
I'm like, what? She's like, what? She's like, whatever.
So they leave the apartment. She goes and talks with her aunt. And the aunt is trying to figure out, wait, so
what happened?
He was faking the entire time? He really wasn't the way he kind of presented himself? I got issues. Because she was like, I was starting to think of him like a nephew. She was like, I was calling him nephew. Now he gonna do this? But it was almost as if the aunt was not recognizing that it was the decision that they both made, because she was it seemed like she was kind of putting it on Eris. Oh, Eris broke up with you? Eris wanted the divorce? No, Jasmine needed to have that divorce.
Well, because again, she's probably not right. They're taping. So it's not like she's watching them go through this process on TV. Only thing she knows is that her niece got married.
And is now divorced.
And now is divorced.
Or divorcing, yes.
So look at it from her perspective. She thought she had a new family member, and now the family member's gone, and she needs closure.
So she got her a bottle of wine. Now, we know that label because if you have an Aldi in your community,
Aldi's,
it's an Aldi brand, or at least when we pick up an Aldi. So that bottle of wine costs like $3-4.
She asked for it back.
She was like, I want this back.
Like,
I bought you this $4 bottle of wine. I want my $4 wine back.
That's what I get. If you ain't gonna use it now that you're single,
I'm taking it back.
And it's chill.
So Jasmine says she doesn't think he wants to see the dog. He's just saying it, which, yeah. So he's with his friend Cheese. And y'all remember from like the first episodes, we was like, Cheese got to have some dirt because ain't no grown man going on national TV.
On national TV.
Like, look, I'm going to sign this paperwork. Call everything you see. Every time you put my lower third down there, every time you put my name, just call me Cheese.
That's it. That's all you get.
You don't need to know about
last name.
My government name is none of your concern. It's Cheese. In fact, make out any checks to Cheese.
Oh my gosh.
And Cheese has a girl named Raven. And Cheese is like, bro, you need a long-term relationship to know what you want and how you can walk within a relationship, because these little hit it and quit it ain't doing nothing.
Right.
You ain't learning nothing. You 39, still don't know what you want and don't know what it takes to have a relationship. So he starts telling Raven, he's like, hey, you got any friends?
I'm not hooking. I'll be like, I'm not hooking you up with my friends. You couldn't even stay married past 8 weeks. So you need to wait. That's what I would have told him. You need to wait. Make sure you figure out something about yourself, what you're looking for, because you done been married for 8 weeks and now you just ready to go, like with no thought.
Right.
You just ready to go.
Because he then starts saying, I don't care, tall,
that
short,
blew my mind.
Thick, slim, light, dark, I don't care. Now, hold on.
Pump your brakes.
Hold on, bro. Because what we kept hearing as far as your concern with Jasmine was that she wasn't Megan Thee Stallion. She wasn't Serena. She didn't have the yam. She didn't have the hips, right? So now you saying slim, thick, tall, whatever it might be, you're open to everything?
You need to stop lying to yourself.
So now, again, and because I think, in my opinion, I think Jess is an attractive woman.
Yeah.
I think the only thing, and I think some of y'all will point out, is her teeth, right?
Yeah.
But teeth can be fixed. Listen.
It can.
Teeth can be fixed.
Hold on. It didn't keep her from winning Miss America.
Or whatever. I don't know if Miss America, whatever it was, beauty pageant, she won.
It was high up. I think it was Miss America. It didn't keep her from that.
At all.
So, because it's more than just your person, it's just more than just your looks.
Yep.
Right? And it wasn't like she was cheesing like that. And trust me, I don't know any man who really care about them teeth like that. That's not where their focus is.
It's part of the picture.
It's part of the picture.
It's part of the picture, but it's not. Listen.
I see men get over it real quick.
Listen, get you on the dental plan. Let's go ahead and work out a plan. Let's get that taken care of. Get the HSA going.
That's what I'm just saying. That's
it's not
easily
not a
fixed.
deal breaker.
No.
Now if teeth are missing and like
you can still fix that.
You can, but
anything with your teeth can be fixed.
It can be, but there's some portions that it's like that's not what I call it genetic, as far as just them facing kind of different ways, whatever. When there's like lack of care issues, that to me is a red flag.
Well, then that's something else.
That is something else, right? So that's what I'm saying. There's something. There are some things that might be like, nah.
But you still can fix it.
You can, but there's something, depending on how raggedy or how listen, if it's hot breath every time,
that can be fixed.
It can be fixed, but I want you to fix it before we continue on.
So everything we're talking about is fixable.
It is fixable. Yes, getting back to Eris and Jasmine.
Right.
These things are fixable.
They're fixable. And
there's nothing that was not fixable.
But for him to just say, I'll take anything, that's your first problem, because you probably said it in your application. And that's why they approached it from the character. You said you wanted a queen, you want a boss, someone, y'all can conquer, blah, blah, blah. That's what she did. She had a good hustle.
Yep.
She was about something. And that wasn't good enough for you.
Yep. Because you need to grow up. All right. So then Clint and Gina.
They should have had the cousin on there. See?
Yeah. Listen, bring the cousin back. I want to see what the cousin got to say. She might be in one of these other 14 episodes that we still got before the end of the season.
She should have just ripped him a new one. Now
I told you.
Now I want her to rip him a new one.
I told you.
Gotta come on national TV with our family.
Yeah. Clint and Gina. Gina comes back from walking the dog. Clint's like, my dog is back. Hey, Hank. So they're like, they're ending on good terms. They're just like, look, it ain't goodbye. See you later. See you around the apartment, because they actually are neighbors.
They are neighbors. She even asked me, you want to babysit because I'm going out of town?
Yeah.
He was like, yes.
So he's on the phone with his friend, and he's like, man, I just miss Hank so much. He ain't miss Gina. It's like, I miss the dog so much.
Right. I want to get licks in the morning when I wake up.
I don't have anybody just wagging their tail for me.
And look at my face.
Gina wouldn't wag her tail, but Hank definitely wags his tail for me.
Gina wouldn't wag her tail. All right. That's a good one. Oh my God.
So
I'm so done. I'm so done. Look, he was like, I'm about to revisit my my phone book
like I'm
and
gonna
pull
go
up
through the Rolodex.
There's a couple of these relationships. If I was just a little bit more mature, just enough, I can show them all the growth I had in 8 weeks. I know I can bag one of these young ladies I had in my past. He's like, I'm not going to even try to start it with anyone new. One of these chicks can come back around.
Went over there like, if I could turn back time. He trying to go back and see what else he might have missed.
Like, I missed somebody. Right. I don't blame him. I mean, like, he's 41. He says, like, look, I want to be married. Yep. I want to wake up to someone that loves me. And And he's right. There could have been some opportunities that he missed out on that they left in good terms. And if they're available, why not?
Because not every relationship that you have is a bad breakup, right?
Oh, no.
There's some that it was just a matter of timing. Sometimes it was just you were immature or they were immature. And now you come back together and you're both mature now. Okay, maybe it could work now. So that's not for Shaq. Shaq, you fumbled right there.
No. Something totally different.
Yes. So for them also, when they get to the autopsy lunch or dinner, whatever it is, I'm going to keep calling it autopsy. Yes.
It has to be something better.
Okay, well, you come up with it. But right now, until you give me something else, I'm going to call it the autopsy.
Reunion dinner.
But no, we got the reunion special coming up. This is the autopsy to see what happened during their marriages. So they're kind of talking through and everything's, we're on good terms. It just wasn't a fit, da-da-da. Nicole's like, hey, Dominic, or what's his name? McKinley, I'm sorry. Hey, McKinley, what you think about my girl, Gina? Gina, what you think about McKinley? Y'all want to go out together? And Clint is like, wait, what?
I was like, he didn't know what was going on this whole time. Listen. I'm just saying. I know Clint was just like, really? Like, I'm confiding in you while I'm married.
Yeah.
And you just can't wait your turn to date my wife.
Like the ink ain't even started on the divorce papers. We haven't even gone to the courthouse yet. We just had a decision a couple of days ago.
Exactly. But you already want to talk to her. Okay.
So
you do that.
Yeah, he feels a little blindsided. And then they were there. McKinley, he's house hunting, and he called up Kirsten to help him as far as his house hunting because she's a real estate agent. So
he was still living
in his friend's basement. Right. But he's like, look, I was planning on setting up roots. So the fact that Dominique is trying to act like I was, fly by night, I'm about to buy a whole house. Because he's the one that has the weed business or something.
I think you were saying.
I think he's got a weed business. I think I got money. I can put something aside, put something on it.
And that's probably when he wanted land, right? So you can be able to grow.
If Tennessee is legalized, I don't know. But all right. So, but Dominique shows up to the luncheon and she's got a dog. And remember, she was trying to take McKinley to task because she felt like he never cared about his dog. But she said she needed a dog because, she needed the stability in her life. And McKinley's like, listen, dog, blink twice if you need help. Because I don't trust her.
Well, he was going to task with like, oh, this is so immature of her. She works all day and then she parties on the weekends. When's she going to have time for a dog? Yeah. Who cares? That's her life. She's going to come home and take care of the dog. The dog's tiny enough. I forgot what she does. Does she do hair or something? I don't know. I forgot what she does. But it's not like she probably can't take the dog with her. So, but again, that's her thing. That's what she does. So why are you so upset? Like you still have a problem with this girl? They didn't end on right terms, obviously. And so they're, being cordial, but other than that,
he don't care.
He don't care for her.
He's over it. He don't care for her. Like I escaped that bullet. I dodged that bullet. So that was pretty much it. The after party, we kind of talked about the main thing there was Shaq still trying to say he gonna get his shot again. Aris kind of alludes to something that was going on with Jasmine that made her unattractive, and he's like, I'm not going to embarrass her though. So
yeah, because he stated that Jasmine woke him up around about 2 a.m. and needed to know, what are you attracted to? I really need to know what you're attracted to. And he said he explained what he was interested in. And he's like, that was a private conversation between us, but she came to an understanding. But that being the case, I don't understand why staying, right?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Like if you told me that you had a type and I wasn't it and you weren't going to,
and you were adamantly not going to even try to see if I could fit into your type,
I'll be like, that's cool. All right.
In the morning, beyond repair.
I'm gonna pack up my stuff, and I'll let them know that we're gonna get a divorce, and then I can spend the rest of my time, instead of having to be in activities
Right.
and do stuff, I can be living my life and being able to date and handle myself the way I need to handle it.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that was it. We still, like I said, we got a few more episodes because they're going to keep filming after the breakups and after decision day. We see that Jasmine is going out on dates.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let us know who you think that person is, because they keep hiding his head very well.
Mm-hmm.
The rumor that I keep seeing and hearing that it's Keith from, I forget which season he was on, but he was the one that was married to Iris,
Mm-hmm.
who the big issue with them was that she was a virgin
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't want to take her virginity. So if you Google Keith and Iris, and you'll see, and let me know if the back of that head matches him, because that does look like who it might be. Then we of course see, Dominique and
infamous kiss.
Yes. And then we have Dominique and Clint. Looks like there may be, at least getting more information on the clip that we've seen floating around for a while. So lots of things still ahead. And then we're probably 3 or 4 weeks away from Reunion Special, which should be, of course, very interesting.
We shall see.
All right. Well, look, that's it for this one. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Let us know what we might have missed. And we'll see you next time. Have a great one. Be blessed.
Bye.